see. Absolutely delicious. One of the best soup you will ever taste. Absolutely perfect.
Like, ooh, this tastes so nice. This is the washed beans I will be using to cook this moi moi. I have already blended a mixture of tomatoes and pepper, ginger and onion. I've blended and I have fried it down. Then I'm going to go ahead and blend my beans. I blended the beans in batches. I had about 3 different batches of beans. When I'm blending the last batch, I usually add thyme and curry with my seasoning cube to the blender. So this seasoning cube, it crumbles so easily. The size is bigger than the regular size of beef stock that I use, and I just went ahead to add it to the blender. On a normal day, I would have used 6 cubes, but because this cube looks slightly bigger, I used 5. So this is me adding salt to my paste and then my tomatoes that I have already fried earlier. So I'm going to just mix everything. I will add a bit of vegetable oil to the paste and keep mixing until I get a smooth consistency. When I mix and feel that I've mixed it well enough, I'll go ahead and taste it to see if I like how it's tasting, and I think I am okay with the current taste of this. So I'll just go ahead and grease the plate I'll be using with vegetable oil. I'll just grease all the plates with vegetable oil, and then I'll scoop my batter into the moi moi plate and then I'll cook. So because of the quantity I'm going to be making, I'll be cooking in 2 different pots today.
So we are done cooking now and the food is ready. It looks delicious already. So let's test it and see. You guys, this is absolutely delicious. So, granite soup, of course. The star of the meal is the granite. And over here, I have my stockfish. I have a mixture of 2 different kinds of pepper. I have crayfish. I have oats. I use that to thicken the soup. I have a native seasoning called ogiri. And then I have some native spice. This is a mixture of different nuts for cooking soup. I have this is uziza leaves, the protein that I'll be using for the soup. Red oil and salt to taste, of course.
After adding my onion to the pot of the stockfish and meat, I started with 3 seasoning cubes and then I added salt. So I'm just going to let the pot steam for a little bit before I continue my cooking. As the pot is steaming, I went ahead to blend my groundnuts. I blended it in 2 batches. So in the second batch, I added a handful of oats. This is what I want to use to thicken the soup. When I was done blending the groundnuts and the oats, I went ahead to blend my pepper mix with some onion and a bit of crayfish. As the meat have steamed up enough, I'll go ahead and add my pepper mix with the crayfish, add a little bit of water to the pot, add my nuts, my ogiri, and red oil, and then I will let it boil a little bit. Few minutes later, I'm back at the pot, and this time I am going to be adding 2 extra cubes, making it a total of 5 cubes, and then I'm going to be introducing my mixture of groundnuts and oats. Mix it together very well, then let it cook for maybe 15 to 18 minutes on low heat. About 15 minutes later, I'm back to the pot, and this time I'm just going to introduce my leaves. I'm using uziza leaves to make the soup, and after leaving it to boil for like 2 minutes, the soup is done.
My kitchen smells like heaven right now. I don't know what heaven smells like, but I think it smells like my kitchen. So this is what the soup looks like. One of the best soup you will ever taste. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. This is so good.
For this pepper soup, I'll be using a few fresh tomatoes, ginger, pepper, onion, a bit of thyme and curry, native pepper soup seasoning, uziza leaves, chicken, salt to taste, and of course our stock cube. In a pot, I added the chicken I seasoned with onion, my thyme and curry mix. I went ahead and added 4 of the chicken stock cube. They crumbled so easily into the pot. They are not the regular size of stock cube, they are slightly bigger, but it was so easy to crumble them into the pot. And then I added salt, and I will go ahead and cover the pot and let it steam for a few minutes. When the pots have boiled for quite some time, I'll go ahead and add blended tomato, pepper, ginger and onion mix. I'll add a little bit of water into the pot, and then I'll add my native pepper soup mix. Turn and mix the meat properly, then cover and let it boil. This is actually a strong chicken, so it needs longer cooking time. So I'm going to leave it on low heat and let it boil for at the very least 40 minutes. When the meat feels tender enough, I'll go ahead and add my leaves, stir it, taste it for salt and seasoning, and the taste was perfect enough for me, so I put off the heat. Come on guys, let's taste this chicken pepper soup and see what it tastes like. Ooh! This tastes so nice. Oh my gosh, this tastes so nice. The pepper soup, the seasoning was perfect in the mix. The chicken was properly seasoned even though it was not marinated before I cooked it. It tastes so well. The seasoning was inside there. It was inside the chicken. I honestly was not expecting the chicken to be properly seasoned because it was actually still iced when I started steaming it, but the seasoning got in there. It's perfect. Okay, I cannot find the right adjective. This was just perfect. I will not need to make any adjustment to this. I'll just go ahead and pair it with my rice and it's perfectly delicious. Okay, thank you so much for coming to my kitchen. You can go now. Bye.
to stay. I need you to stay.